Om Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to another Yoga Small Talk, and we continue with 7 minutes Bhagavad Gita a day. We're reading from chapter 6, the Yoga of Meditation, and we have reached verse 16. So actually 16 and 17 express the same idea, so we will read them together and then we will discuss. 16. Verily, yoga is not possible for him who eats too much, nor for him who does not eat at all, nor for him who sleeps too much, nor for him who is always awake, O Arjuna. 17. Yoga becomes the destroyer of pain for him who is moderate in eating and recreation, such as walking, etc., who is moderate in exertion in actions, who is moderate in sleep and wakefulness. So, for those of you who have been studying yoga philosophies for some time, maybe those verses will appear to be a little bit odd, because when we talk about yoga, we talk about the burning desire to be liberated. So it is said that when a person experiences this burning desire to be liberated, called in Sanskrit mumukshutva, then this person has the prerequisites to go on the advanced practices of yoga. Now, what is the connection between moderation and the burning desire to be liberated? Apparently nothing. And again, the analogies that we are given is like a man whose clothes are on fire and just wants to put the fire out so that his body will not get burnt, or to a person whose head is under the water, who's drowning, and just wants to reach up and get another breath of air. And those people will not think about anything else other than how to save themselves. So here there is no moderation. How come Lord Krishna is talking to us about moderation? And the answer is simple. It is because we practice yoga in the vehicle of the body and the mind. So when we do those practices, we are still in the body. And if we will destroy the vehicles, we will destroy the body and destroy the mind, this will not help us. What we need is to transcend the limitations, and the yogis teach us how to do that. But if we become fanatic and we start resorting to self-torture, then we will only cause damage. And of course, we will not be able to persevere. So this will be a very short-term, very damaging kind of practice. In another place in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about those people who torture their bodies. He says, they torture their bodies and me, who dwells within it. Meaning when you torture the body, you also torture the divinity that is inside. So this should be avoided. Moreover, when we become fanatic, we cannot be sattvic. So remember sattva, rajas, tamas. Sattva, purity, knowledge, happiness. Rajas, activity, greed, passion. And tamas, inertia, or completely misled and dark practice. So when we become fanatic, we're either on the rajasic scale or on the tamasic scale. It will not be sattva, meaning no chance of it leading to knowledge. So as soon as we become fanatic, or we start thinking about our practice in fanatic ways, this should ring an alarm bell for us. You are straying away from sattva. And of course, if there is any doubt, you can ask the teacher if something is overexertion or something is okay. So for instance, many yogis like to fast. So fasting on occasion is okay. It can also be very healthy. But resorting to fasts too often in a way that is like to punish the body or to try to discard any sensations that come from the body is not good, is not recommended. And you can see that the whole Bhagavad Gita is such a short narration. Not too many verses are there compared to the size of the study and to other scriptures. And yet, within that, Lord Krishna tells to us in 2 verses, and then in other chapters again and again, be very, very, very careful. Practice moderation. And when you practice moderation, you will be reaping the fruit of your practice. Lord Krishna starts so beautifully. Verily, yoga is not possible. So if you do not practice meditation, you will not reach yoga. Here, dhyana yoga, the yoga of meditation, you will not be able to meditate. And it ends with verse 17, it says, yoga becomes the destroyer of pain. Meaning, if you go to fanatic practices, to extreme practices, yoga is not possible. You will go nowhere. If you will stick to moderation, then yoga becomes the destroyer of pain. So you will reap the fruit of your practice. And we will go in the next teaching into the specifics of the instructions. But once we understand this principle of moderation and apply it to our practice, of course, subject to the instructions of our teacher, success is bound to be there. So please join us for the next teaching in which we will describe the details of the moderate practice. Om Shanti.